Got to get something off my chest, and it coming from last night's game, Canada and Jamaica, just before we get to Jamie McLeod. And you're probably wondering, what are you going to get off your chest, Anthony? They won 3-1. They scored 3 goals on home turf. They won decisively, and everything is good. No, everything is not good. Let me tell you why everything is not good. My stomach was churning once again. In the stadium, the amount of Jamaican flags, the amount of Jamaican supporters that were here in the city of Toronto supporting Jamaica over Canada. It was basically 3-1. 3 Jamaican fans to every 1 Canadian fan. And I got to tell you, when they scored that first goal, I thought, wow, I can't believe this is happening once again. The roar, the drums, Jamaican fans yelling and screaming on I got to admit, it was a great set-piece goal by Jamaica to take the early 1-0 lead. But here is why I'm so ticked off. I'm sick and tired of living in this beautiful country of mine, born and raised here in Toronto, a Canadian through and through. I pay my taxes here. My bread is buttered here. This is where I work. This is where my kids were born. My wife was born. I would do anything for the country I love, Canada. And I've said this and I'll say it a million times. If last night in Toronto, Canada was playing Italy, me and my kids would be wearing red jerseys. Me in the press box, my kids down below with my wife. None of us would have Italy jerseys on. Why? Because we are Canadian citizens, proud to support Canada. That's why. People say to me, why, Anthony? You know, a lot of people were born in Jamaica. That's why last night they were cheering for Jamaica over Canada. I don't care. You now live in Canada. You pay taxes in Canada. You might have kids that are born Canadian. You're still working here. Cheer for Canada. Jamaica's been to a World Cup much, much earlier than Canada. Canada's not had success. They need your support. Why are we not filling the stadium in Toronto with Canadian supporters, with Canadian people with passion, with drums, with red flags, scarves, jerseys? I'm sick of it. Every time in this country, Canada, that I love dearly. Anytime you talk to anyone from any European country, South American country, Central American country, whenever they make a visit to Toronto, you think they're going to support Team Canada? No. Yeah, and I know that Canada's been crap. Yeah, and I know that Canada hasn't qualified for a World Cup since '86. You know what? I get all that. But you know what? Go support the country that you're living in now, that you're paying taxes in, that you left the country, wherever it might be, to come here for a better life. And your kids are born here. Your family is all here now. Why not support Canada? Why do you have to support Jamaica last night? Why? Or any other country in the CONCACAF region when it comes to World Cup qualifying? For what reason? This would not happen in the US of A. You might get a small pocket of Mexican fans when they play the US, a small pocket of Jamaican fans, but you're outnumbered 3-1. Here in Canada, in Toronto, it's the reverse. Canadian fans get outnumbered 3-1. It's pathetic. It's upsetting. And there's no need. I wonder if Team Canada in hockey were to play here in Toronto against Jamaica, because now we know that Jamaica possibly could have an ice hockey team, and that's great to hear. But let's say they were to play whichever other country, Spain, whatever other country, Germany, Italy in hockey. Would you go cheer for Team Canada with Sid the Kid Crosby, with Ryan Getzlaf, Jonathan Toews? Or would you cheer for Italy or Spain or whatever other country? I tell you what, I guarantee you at the ACC in Toronto, you would be cheering for Team Canada and not for those other countries. But how come when it comes to soccer, everyone else goes to cheer against Canada? But when you leave the stadium, you're all happy to go back to your nice warm homes. You're all happy to go back to your nice jobs. And here when it comes to Canada and soccer, they get pushed aside. I talked to a player a week ago at the training site, and he spoke to me. And he said, you know what, Anthony, let's hope that we get the support we need with the drums, with the noise, because it's always the reverse. I said, I doubt it. It's time to change the culture in Canada. It's time for a change. We need people to support Canadian soccer. Yeah, we know it's garbage, but it's making its way little by little, slowly, a little bit at a time, as it did last night, to crawl back to respectability. We need the support of the fans.